Yeah, hello folks, and welcome back to the third episode of my park building project. And I'm glad you're tuned in again. And yeah, if you want to support me, please leave a like or a comment. I'm happy to receive feedback, and if you have your own ideas for an Asian park, share your ideas with me. I currently have a few ideas, and in this episode I'm building rice terraces and filling this free space here with them. At the beginning I thought about designing the rice terraces for a visual effect, and I decided to make an enclosure out of them for a very famous dinosaur from the Upper Cretaceous from Asia, and you saw it in the thumbnail. It is still the Dinosaurus. Yeah. And originally I wanted to leave this area free, and so I spontaneously decided to build these terraces, and sometimes it's good to be spontaneous and try things out. I struggled with these terraces for a long time, and yeah, that's me. And this isn't the finished result either. I made a few changes after recording, and we see these changes in the third episode. And in the next episode I will also include the Alamosaurus from the pole, and I already have an idea for the next dinosaur and will start a poll in the community tab. And give me a vote for the optical look of the Shantungosaurus. My English is so nice. I found a very interesting mod, and let me know what you're thinking about, yeah? But enough with the teaser, back to this episode. But before I talk about the things what I built here, this episode is coming out a little bit later because I recently received a new microphone, and at first I try my new microphone out in German and create the video. After then I recorded it in English, but I can only upload one video at a time. It's also crazy how long it takes for the video to be uploaded by YouTube. Hours per hours, and I also had to get to know the settings and find the right distance for the audio recordings, but I love the new microphone as well. Better than my old one. Okay, so enough of these. I try to make the terraces stand out visually with the stones and sandbrush tool, and in my opinion you can see here the difference, and I hope you can see the terraces better. Yeah, and I'm unsure is it will look good with the planting, because I think the mossy look from the terrain brush tool is much cooler, but the dinosaurs need food. And I don't like to turn off the food first unless I have a reason. I like the animations of the dinosaurs when they get to eat and drink. Everything seems more alive. What you can expect again in this episode, just designing the terraces, but I wasn't happy, so I'm changing a few things, but yeah. Later I planned here a river with a photo wall and include them here in this enclosure, and I want to place the first hotels on the edge of the river. And yeah, actually want to use the modern buildings, but the Jurassic Park hotel was perfect and fit in so well on the cliffs, on the border here, on the river here. Yeah, and then I covered up with some stones for more stability and filled the gaps between with some plants again. Right here you can see that I'm trying to add the first hotel, but I was so dissatisfied, and that's why I decided on the Jurassic Park hotels. It was very important to me to have the first accommodations for the park so that the park rating is higher and I have as many guests as possible on the paths. But still the requirements for the guests are quite so strange for me, and it feels like you have all 100 meters to place a toilet or a shelter or a shop or a restaurant or and so on, and yeah, that's so weird. I want to do that, but a high park rating is important to me. I still think it's a shame that the guests can't see the dinosaurs from the paths like in Planet Zoo, and yeah, Frontier, please give us this opinion. So I was designing the enclosure again, and then I noticed it is very huge, and yeah, okay, what I can do with them, split them or don't split them into twice sections, and yeah, but I didn't have to do that because we have enough space on the entire map for all the dinosaurs that I planned, and besides, it's nice if the dinosaurs also have enough space for the rooming, so I mean, and I find small enclosures very unpleasant. I hope that the enclosure is still big enough for the first dinosaurs from the first episode, like the pretty Sinosauropteryx. Yeah, I hope it's big enough for him. Of course, we can do whatever we want, and it's all virtual and not real. But somehow I always have the feeling that I can't put virtual animals in such small enclosures either. I think sometimes I think way too much on this point. Afterwards I placed a real tea house here for the guest offline, here on the open space, next to the tea house from the second episode, but this tea house is only a decoration and hasn't a function, and so we need a real tea house. Yeah, and then I finished the building connection to the hotels again and cover the paths up with stones, and yeah, and more stones and stones and stones keep coming, and I somehow can't stop placing so many stones and plants. Yeah, that's me too. Yeah, that's Robert. Yeah, too many placeable objects, but for real, I'm already holding back. I don't have any problems with the frame rate or the FPS either. I don't know what happened with in my other project, but I had a few problems recording it again, and so it's better when I managed the next placeable objects in the next episode. But yeah, fingers crossed for the next episode. That we haven't a problem with the frame rate and so on, but I'm sure it works good. So, then I attached an invisible fence to the edge of the enclosure because I wanted to place the first dinosaur for now. I found a really great mod on Nexusmods, and we have the skin from the Apple TV Plus series Prehistoric Planet, and I think this skin pattern is very well, and it makes the duck look really cool. I would definitely like to have the duck Also, I mean, the Dinosaurus appear one more time in this park with the original skin. I don't want to take a carnivore because the natural barriers here with the river and the mountains, also here, I mean, with the terraces is more suitable for a herbivore, so I think. And it's very close to the upper section with the tea house and the hotels, and I think carnivore is not the best choice for this enclosure here. Yeah, and the Dinosaurus is one of my favorite dinosaurs and is very bizarre and exciting. I like the animation and the way he looks and how it sounds, and he can scratch himself with long claws, and it's very funny for me to see that. And as you can see later, I have placed some trees here in the time-lapse and bushes as well. And I delete most of them again. The effect with the terraces has been lost, and that's why I had changed something offline again after this recording and episode. And I missed the terrace effect and so on. But don't get me wrong, I love the nature and you cannot have enough trees, but for some visual effect it is better to delete some of them, alright. I added also later the KAIODENIC in this habitat, and so we have two Ornithomimises. Sorry, I don't know how I pronounced it correctly, but I know you know what I mean. And yeah, the Ornithomimus is also a genus of a theropod from the Upper Cretaceous from the Northern Hemisphere, and with his feather look from an other mod, it's such a good match with the Dinosaurus here in this habitat. And yeah, the Dinosaurus is one of my favorites, and the biggest and largest of this family, of this genus here, with a total length of 11 meters and have a weight with 6.7 tons, and yeah, and he looks very bulky and have very long arms with a length with 2.5 meters, and yo, that's really cool. And yeah, it is a really unusual dinosaur, and it was a very specialized for semi-aquatic life. And by the way, I also really like to play Pair of Pythons, and I really like to play also the Dinosaurus in this game. And yeah, later I replaced the fish feeder in the river by side of the hotels in the other river, so that the duck comes up, and the guest from the hotel can watch the duck when he eat. And so I think we have a nice gimmick and the possibility for watching on the edge on the hotel. You can look into the river, see the dino, hey cool, and he is fishing here and found food here. Yeah, I think it's a good shot. Next, I built a guest area so that the guests can also enjoy some amenities nearby the hotel here, and I set the whole platform slightly elevated, and elevation is very important in the park and brings a lot of dynamic to your park. You don't have to have a big difference in height, just a few small steps higher with the terrain like here in my time lapse, and voila, it changed the look of your park and give you some options for viewings and so on, and so you have elevated areas with some seating sections in combination with a restaurant or whatever you want to do place here. I also want the possibility that the guest can look into the enclosure from here and enjoy their coffee and watch the ducks as they hunt for fish. Yeah, this is my idea here, and I would like to end this guest area at this point and then continue with a Jurassic tour. We see this building then later here in the time lapse, and in the future my plan is for the visitors to follow a hop-on of principle and take the Jurassic tour through the large national park in this project here. In between there are small areas where guests can rest, and from here they can view other dinosaurs via the various observation platforms that we have here in game. If I stick to my own rules, the next guest area will be smaller than the larger area here at the entrance to the national park from the first episode. But we need an entire area for the entrance and some attractions also for the visitors. I decided for smaller amenities for the guest. I think it fits better here on this place, and I know it's a very huge seating area, and so I added a lot of the decoration items with the planters and biosyn fountains, and covered it up a little bit and combined it with the trees and so on, and later I fill the gap between the seating. Also, I mean the chairs and the tables yeah. Okay, I'm struggling so hard in my head. Sorry, folks. And then I put some fountains in the middle and combined it also with statues from the Dinosaurus. And yeah, that's also a teaser for the guest. Hey, here's in the near the Dinosaurus. If you see him, you can enjoy him here in the near and look out for him and so on. Yeah, this is my idea. Can you imagine how cool it would be if we had a lot of more statues of dinosaurs official in this game? Skeletons and statues of every dinosaur would be a great addition for this game. Yeah, it would also be really nice if the guest can sit on the chairs. Yeah, it's okay when it's randomly, no? So the decoration would also be more interactive with the visitors and so on. Yeah, that's so amazing. But yeah, enough of dreams. Back to my future plans. After this video I will start a poll for the enclosure where the Jurassic tour passes through. And this is where I want to put my first carnivore. It's the Shantungosaurus, and I found a great mod with a model from the prehistoric planet. So I think it's the skin and the pattern, and it looks very interesting, but I'm not sure is it the right direction or not, and so start this poll and you can give me your voting, give me your voice. What do you thinking about? And then I decided me later in the next episode or in the 5th, whatever, and yeah. Here I'm adapting the Jurassic tour and connecting it with the other area of the guest, and I'm still thinking about making a very dense forest for our Shantungosaurus. I'll try to think out something cool for the next episode. I'm still undecided whether I'll keep the river next to it or whether I'll let it disappear into the mountain. And yeah, I'm also thinking about letting pterosaurs fly around freely in this park. I'll give a try and see how the pterosaurs take over their territory. And yeah, I also have the idea of whether I should include a ranger outpost. What do you think about that? Is this a good idea, or we don't need it here in this project? Yeah, let me know it. And yeah, the episode is coming to an end, and I hope you enjoyed it so far and look forward to tuning in again next week. And folks, have a good time and thank you for your support, and until then, enjoy the rest of the capture view and the rest of the video, and at this point I say to you, bye bye.